Hey yo, how y'all doing? Yes, I'm a crazy guy. Not wild and crazy. Hey, let me ask you a question. Can you handle the truth? I don't know. I don't know if people can handle the truth. In fact, that song is really appropriate because it says we're all just dust in the wind, and that's what people are feeling like now. In fact, the title of the show today is Trump Tricking Us. Did Trump trick us? Because if you've noticed out there, it seems like a bunch of podcasters are jumping ship. They can't handle it anymore. Trump is a Zionist. He's an Israel lover. This is all a big game. They tricked us. They played us. Oh, my Lord in heaven. People are going crazy. Well, that's why I'm going to ask you to like, follow, and share right now, because this is a channel that you maybe get a perspective that is unlike others. This is Two Dudes Chillin today. Currently, the other dude that's chilling is having trouble getting on, so it is one dude super chill. And but I do want to cover this black pilling of President Trump right now, and it's a concern. And let me tell you why. When people are losing their mind over President Trump and his picks and so on and so forth, and I honestly was just at a Mar-a-Lago event that seemed more like an Israel event. So I can see their concerns. But the question I would ask, if you're losing your mind and think we've been tricked and it's all over, have we not missed the most important lesson? That if it is to be, it's up to me. It's we the people. If we're going to claim our own sovereignty, why would we be so upset right now? That's a question we should ask. Because is it not we the people that are the plan? Have we not learned anything over this last decade almost? I think we have. So I would say to those that are getting blackpilled so quickly and jumping ship and so upset and it's over for everybody. Well, in fact, there's a huge podcaster out there today or yesterday that posted, it's over 1 year and we're all done. They've got us all enslaved. Do you believe that? I don't believe that. I also don't believe at this moment that President Trump is tricking us, because there is a what I call gray hat plan in the works. Part of it is deception, psyops. Why have I always said I haven't picked a side on General Flynn, good or bad? He's the master of psyops. So I won't. I will not pick a side until I'm sure or pretty darn sure. So I would ask everybody to maybe take a breath. I'm giving President Trump and his team until June. So let's review, and I feel like I have to review often just because people are getting so upset and so confused, and I get it. There's a lot of evidence that would say we've been tricked, but I believe this is a magical Trojan horse, and I believe this is for optics. So when we went, not we, but when they went in to Troy with a Trojan horse, it was Odysseus was actually pretending to be their friends, right? That's what they were. This is an offering. We appreciate you. We want to embrace you. You remember that? And what happened when he got into the city of Troy and befriended them, next thing you know, the horse opens and all the troops come out and they actually burn Troy to the ground. I believe what you're looking at is a Trojan horse that's being delivered to the Khazarian mafia. This is the art of war, folks. Don't get too triggered. The art of war is for the enemy. It's not for the people watching. I would not get too triggered. The art of war, you have to appear weakest when you are strongest. The art of war, you appear strongest when you are weakest. I think we need to pay attention to that before we get too triggered. So I would ask everybody to step back, take a deep breath, and look at the next 6 months until June for me. And the reason why I suggest that, because I give them time to get settled in office and start making some moves. But if President Trump's picks do what his top 3 picks, I call them, do what they're supposed to do, the deep state falls. If you actually remove 80% of government, you close the Federal Reserve, right? You fix big agriculture, big food. You pretty much get rid of big pharma, put massive restrictions on them where people can now be healthy and get the right information. You remove censorship from all of our platforms. Do you see where I'm going with this? If all that stuff goes, the deep state falls. It's done. So if his picks only do what they're supposed to do, then we're in fantastic shape. So I wouldn't get black-pilled so quick. You've invested way too much time and effort into this to just jump ship right now, right? Have a little intestinal fortitude and stick with it. You have really nothing to lose, because if it is as dark as people think it may be dark, you're done anyways, right? We the people are the plan. We the people are 100% the plan. Find something you can do in the community. Find somebody you could help. I can tell you, I talked to a bunch of people on hurricane relief, which is massively important right now. There's tens of thousands dead in North Carolina and Tennessee, a whole bunch of people displaced. I know people living in their tents with their families with snow all over the place. They need help. So find a way to help. Maybe not there, but my point is there's always something you can do, something within your community that you can do. Start gravitating to your community to make an incredible, wonderful difference. That's my suggestion. And if I could remind you, the mafia is to make sure you pick a side of black or white. It's all bad, it's all good. So even those that are always choosing white, you're still completely blindsided of the hue of colors in the middle, right? So I would suggest that not everything's black or white. Sometimes we have to open our minds up and say maybe something else is going on, especially in this time of a psyop. So I am getting messages that the video quality is low. Sometimes my voice is going in and out. Nothing we can do about it, guys. You could either just say, hey, bail, I can quit it, or we can try to work with it as we can. My signal looks great here. I know one of the portals that's going through may not be so great. It is what it is at this moment. I could say we're being attacked like every other podcaster would do when this happens. I don't think it's that. Maybe there's just gremlins today. Who knows? Anyways, folks, we totally 100% got this if we think that's the most important thing for us to do. Let's do something here. Does anybody have any questions that even regarding what I just spoke about or anything in particular? I would absolutely love to do that because I know I didn't take any live questions yesterday. So if you have any, just pop them in chat. Please put them in all caps and I'll see what I can do. I'm going to take a drink of sweet tea because I'm in Florida and that's what's appropriate here. Hey, Bruce, if you're available, you can come on with me too. We can be two dudes chilling instead of just one. So in the meantime, folks, while we're waiting, I just want to always remind you, one of my favorite sponsors of all times is Matt at Verity Metals. At veritymetals.com. And And Matt's a wonderful dude. I've been spending some time with him lately. One thing that I love about him and his integrity in the business is he makes sure he can get you the best rates. He tries to get you generally currency. What I mean by that, actual coins that can spend in an emergency, not that you'd have to carve silver off of. He also does wonderful IRAs, switch over, so on and so forth. But when investigating Matt and other companies, I see there's such a difference in how much they charge on percentages. And then when I know the way Matt does his receipts, his processes, and makes sure that your transfers are safe, I said, this is definitely the guy to go with. So,
Hello? Can you hear me? Did Lewis drop out? Is that what the deal is?
He's frozen.
So it's the Bruce Poppy show? Oh, whoa, my face is so big. All right, okay. Try to. Man, you can see right down my throat.
Up your nose right now.
Oh, no.
It's in your sensitive.
Hey, I don't know if you can hear me. Are we live? Or is it Memorex?
fish.
All right, well.
I can't even.
Oh, wow. This is going to be tough. Try to work it out. My arm ain't long enough. And I can't even, because I'm on my phone, I can't see the chat to see if anybody's asking any questions. Wait, maybe. Oh, there we go. Hey, what's up?
They can hear you.
All right.
Lewis is logging out.
Trump. Well, I my viewpoint, unpopular as it might be, is that I am personally. This is just me. I am not investing any mental, physical, or spiritual energy in anything that's going on currently. I am waiting to see, just like Lewis has mentioned. He's put a time frame on it, June. I'm just watching what's going on. And I was hopeful, maybe if Lewis can get his connection worked out, to get some of the details about his Mar-a-Lago event. And I was curious about that because I seen people on X were going a little bit crazy. It was, a Flynn thing. It wasn't a Trump thing. He was an invited guest, blah, blah. So I wanted the details from somebody that was there. Secondly, I'm just watching all these people freak out.
Hey, I can hear you.
Hey. What's going on there, boss? And he's frozen again.
Hey, your nose hairs look amazing today.
I know, right?
Open it all the way.
Well, let me try something different here.
Is it? Yeah, I can't really move around. Huh. Interesting. It says I have 3 bars, but no matter, who knows what that means. Okay. Okay.
It depends on what you mean by trick. I mean, what was our? Well, here's the thing. What was the expectation? What was the expectation that once Trump got back in the White House? What was the expectation that would happen? That's how you determine what It's on an individual basis, I believe. Right? It would only be what be your expectation for him to come in? You expect him to come in? He's not even inaugurated yet. and expect everything, the whole house of cards to fall and everybody to run away and hide in the hole and give up the ghost. That's not the case. One, getting Trump back in office is only step one. Now the real fight starts. One of the things that I noticed, as I, just kind of aware, scan some headlines, look at some articles, keep abreast of what's going on, that, this Christopher Wray thing, what he's doing in before he leaves is promoting all kinds of secret executive service people into positions to kind of gird up, the FBI and kind of limit the effectiveness of Trump and potentially Kash Patel in the FBI. So there's there's way many there's different angles, different avenues to look at when you're looking at all this stuff. Nobody really has all the answers. If I don't even. I think Trump is it's a moves and counter move situation all the way around. But even in the chat, I would ask or people who are thinking, oh, Trump tricked us and they're wanting to bail out, whatever. What was your expectation from Trump winning the election? That's the thing. If we put the things that get us all worked up are our emotions. We get emotionally involved, and you believe me, I'm the king of that. I'm Mr. Roller Coaster Ride, but I'm learning to be a little bit more even keel for learning from great people like Mr. Lewis Herms. But what are our expectations? Number one, and then what meaning do we give? That's the thing that gets us worked up. We give meaning that may or may not be true to certain events, people, situations, and then we base our actions on that meaning that we give it, and we could be wrong in the meaning that we're giving it. So I would say be patient, and just like Lewis said in the beginning, before everything got wonky with the internet, is we the people are the plan. It's always been that. So what are you doing to remedy the situation? That's the question. Trump's going to do what they can do or whatever, but what are we the people doing? That's a huge question. Well, I was curious about that as well, because I didn't go. All I saw was some of the aftermath and some people on X. It was not a Trump event, even though it was at Mar-a-Lago. He was an invited guest, and well, I mean the I don't know what the details. I mean, the people that they were promoting to get people to go and give money was a fundraiser. Mike Flynn was behind that whole situation, heading that up, I believe, as I understand it. And then they had Kid Rock, Tucker, Mel Gibson was there, from what I've seen on X. So they were talking about trafficking. The different clips I've seen, I didn't see, so I don't have any input as to the whole Israel thing, the whole APEC. But that's a huge problem. And I'm a little bit different viewpoint. I'm over myself. This is just me personally. My viewpoint, unpopular as it might be, is the fact is using optics when we can't come up with a viable solution as to what's going on. Oh, it's optics. We're doing this for some other reason. And I've always questioned. I understand the art of war, and that's why we got to let it play out. These people who are playing this game are way more efficient and have way more information than you or I ever will. Lewis being, having the connections he has with different people and being to Mar-a-Lago more than one time, he has a different insight. So it's, I would love to talk and hear what Lewis had to say, why he was saying it seemed like an Israel type event, something promoting, the whole Khazarian situation. I don't see how that can happen. Israel has to go down from a nation state standpoint, because that seems to be the beehive of all the Khazarian activity. And so what if Lisa Richards, if you can't hear, she was asking, is this somehow, we're working towards making Israel great again? I'm not a huge fan. The more that I research and study, the more that I understand how evil the Israel nation state and what they've done, the war crimes, playing the constant victim, not talking about the Israeli people or the Jewish people, but the Khazarian mafias. The people are the ones who are suffering as well from these Luciferian asshat type leaders who are committing war crimes all over the planet. And now Syria fell, and now Israel's moving in and encroaching, putting stuff across the border there. So there's a lot more here in this geopolitical game that we don't seem to understand. We don't have all the information, so you can't really make an intelligent decision on which side. What Lewis says, you don't choose a side, but what stance you take. I choose to go with my gut and intuition. Says they're all bad. Every single government that's currently in power is probably evil and does not have the people's best interest at heart for the most part. There's a few we can see what's going on in some of the stuff that's going on in Argentina. He's doing really good. Milei over there, Milei. I can't even pronounce his name. People think it's Robin Williams in a mask. I don't know. That's probably a conversation we can have for Tinfoil Hat Tuesdays. But there's tons of stuff that we just don't know. We're just seeing seeing what they want us to see. Every single thing is a psyop. That's what we need to understand. Whether it's on X, whether it's on Gateway Pundit or conservative type media, everybody's trying to push an angle or viewpoint or agenda through their reporting. And that's why it's important to kind of look from a 30 to 40,000 foot view, like I said, in my opinion, to just kind of get a grasp and not focus too much on it. There's so much that we can do personally to work on ourselves, like we the people on the plane. Number one, that's why I've been focusing all on myself, trying to do things differently for me. Changing some massive stuff, man. I got a big story that I'd love to share sometime that I'm fighting with my doctor about him wanting to put me on more meds. I had a situation. Allegedly, people call it a heart attack. I don't know if that was it or not. My pacemaker went off, shocked me. So I've been trying to get an appointment to see my cardiologist, and I've had to go up the food chain to that thing today. I finally got a phone number for somebody way up the food chain at the hospital there, HCA in Largo, and I called them, and they must have freaked out because as soon as about 10 minutes after I hung up the phone with her, because I'm in a meeting, can I call you back? 10 minutes later, the office manager, the practice manager from the doctor's office, it's called the Heart Institute, called me and wanted to know what he can do to help me out because I was coming unglued. And I said, I don't even need it. I want to cancel my appointment. I don't need to come see you. I'm going to figure it out on myself. So I've been pushing hard to work on myself personally, do some herbal stuff, more exercise, to make sure I can stay in this fight longer and be the best that I can be. It's hard to keep up with. I'm on my phone here. It's just completely off the cuff, not planned. Well, because I got Starlink. Yeah, I got Starlink. So yeah, the Starlink people are good to go. When you try to rely on hotel Wi-Fi, that's when you get all messed up. But we're planning because Lewis is in Florida, and so we will be bringing our RV down there tomorrow to hang out with Lewis. Al, I can hear you. Don't see it. There you are.
Well, a miracle. The Iranians let go. I beat the Iranians.
I thought the Iranians were all tied up in New Jersey with all their drones. I thought that's what they're.
That's Project Blue in collaboration with Iran. It's and Chris, former Governor Christie. I don't know.
So you're at a solid place, and you're still having Wi-Fi issues there where you're at, Alan, huh? And he's gone again. So yeah, welcome to the Bruce Poppy Show. If this is your very first time, make sure you do a commercial. Make sure you go to screwbiggov.com to find out, when Lewis has internet, when you can actually watch his shows. I jest, but trying to come in again, Alan.
This is, I don't know what to do. I don't know if I should walk around, maybe if the signal's better. Let me try that. See if the signal's different somewhere else.
Well, when I was younger and we had those TV, with the antennas, the rabbit ear stuff, my mom would make me hold the antenna with one hand and put the other hand up in the air. So maybe you can try standing on one leg and wave at your phone in the air and see if it gets it. I don't know.
Moving around works. Oh,
that's weird too. Because on this app, when it goes wonky, my face freezes, and I don't know if I'm still continuing to have a good thing or not. Oh, thank you very much. I really work hard at that. It's the Numi skin stuff. I use that all the time.
It's really good. You look good. You're like twice the size. The cell phone looks good.
So there's lots of stuff. I mean, there's all kinds of craziness going on everywhere. But yeah, if anybody has it, if you live in a cave somewhere in a van down by the river, I don't know, that there's these massive drones. These aren't small drones. These aren't like the little toy ones. These are massive ones, like big as like a car. Larger drones, multiples of them flying over and around, seemingly most New Jersey.
Well, it's official. I am now a guest on my own show.
Welcome,
can you hear me?
Welcome,
I
everybody.
still
Welcome
can't hear anything
guest,
coming out
Lewis
of my computer.
Herms.
I mean, even out of my phone.
That's crazy, man.
I got a lot of bars. What is going on here? I cannot hear me. Okay, so I guess everybody could hear me, but now I can't hear Bruce or Alan or Lisa.
Well, I stopped talking when you started.
Very interesting. Well, I don't want to talk over. Get out.
Very crazy stuff.
Live podcast. Today would be the day. I've got 5 bars on my phone, and still, I think this must be an issue with the software because I've got a beautiful signal right now, and I'm frozen on my own. But talking, my wife is saying that you guys could hear me on there, but I can't hear or see Bruce. So, I think if it's let Bruce go, just tell Bruce, Lisa, to go. He can go as long as he wants, and then give you the signal, and you can just end the show, and we'll have to make it another day. Apologize, folks. Sometimes maybe I'm meant to be doing something else right now. So bye for now. Appreciate you guys, and we'll be back on this later.
Interesting. Well, yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. You got all kinds of signal and still all wonky and all messed up. And I'm on my phone here, so I got my arm is like stretched way out, and then even losing on the TV. But anyway, yeah, the drones up in New Jersey area. People they don't know if they're saying it's coming from an Iranian mothership out in the Atlantic somewhere. Pentagon says that's not true, so nobody really knows. Maybe until somebody shoots one down, they figure out what it is. I don't know. So there's all kinds of craziness going on. Like, that's why you gotta have your head on a swivel. You got to be aware of what's going on, but not let it affect you. That's why, with all this people getting their panties all in a wad about Trump's picks and all that, I'm just gonna let it play out. Like I said, I don't want to give any real, mental, spiritual, physical energy. I got too much other things that I need to do, for me, my family, and doing what I can in my local community here as much as I possibly can. So that, that's what's going on with they're not man-made or from our realm. They're not man-made, says Diesel. Anyway, yeah, Lewis, he might have been abducted. I don't know. Mercury retrograde's happening according to Denise. Denise, who knows? But like I said, Lewis is in town. We're going to go hang out with them for the weekend. There's, let's see, what else is happening that might be of interest. Like I said, one of the things that not a lot of people talk about is this. We talk about the deep state all the time. This SES, this secret executive service. They're the real evil MFers, and what Ray is potentially doing, putting people into these key positions to kind of block or put a firewall, if you will, from having cash and what Trump wants to do with the FBI. Who knows what that is? At bay or some limitation. Then the other thing that got me a little bit, we spent the last 4 years a weekend at Bernie's with this executive branch, the person that we have allowed to occupy the executive branch of the United States government. And now we got Glitch Mitch, can't even stand up. And he's in charge of some pretty big, important committees in the Senate. Why? How does this guy continue to be elected? Senior executive service. Thank you, Joey. Why are these people continuing to be elected? And we know how much scumbags they are. I mean, Lindsey Graham, they're slowly coming around. I think they're getting a talking to, and they're capitulating for Trump's picks because everybody got their panties on the wad about Pete Hegseth, and you haven't heard anything about Pam Bondi coming out yet, so they're going to let that one through. And Kash Patel's the next one that they're going after. So these people are running. It's quite comical to watch if you're don't have an emotional vested interest in what happens. I want to see the best for America, and I think that's what's going to happen. I believe that's God's plan for the universe's plan for us, we the people, to have this end of an age. Nothing can stop what is coming. It's going to be biblical. All those things are true. So there's tons of stuff that's happening. We just got to keep pushing, keep fighting, keep letting people know, right? We need to be more active, I believe, in getting a hold of our, Congress people to ask them. They just recently passed this almost $1 trillion National Defense Authorization Act. What's all the small print in that? What are they locking in? There's many other people that are being put in positions currently that are going to be there for a little while unless something really massive happens for a shakeup and we get rid of these people, because you can't drain the swamp if they're just continuing to be dredged in there. So there's going to be something that has to happen to get those people out. Yeah, Lisa?
Well, how about Biden giving Africa, was it, billions of dollars when there's still people living in tents in North Carolina?
Yep, he committed over $1 billion into Africa to help them humanitarian aid, and they're still sending. Every few days, I'm turning around another 60 million or 720 million or something like that, sending over to Ukraine. And yes, exactly. Right now in Western North Carolina, Eastern Tennessee, there are people that are living in tents outside, scrambling. I don't know if it snowed there yet or not, but it's cold as F. I know if it's cold, if it's in the 40s here, it's way colder there. And the government doesn't give a F. There's more stories coming out about the land grab situation, people being told to sell out. If they don't sell, they're just going to continue. They're going to start mining around their property. And so they're going to be stuck in the middle. So this is, I don't know what the answer is there until, unless we I don't know how we stop this. How do we stop this government from being criminalistic against the people there in the North Carolina? That's through a potentially man-made or man-enhanced storm for potential land grab, for mining. There's other theories floated around there. Asheville, North Carolina, that's super liberal, and they want to be a 15-minute city. So before, you got to tear some shit down and rebuild it in the way that, in that sense. So, that is the heartbreaking thing that still not enough people are talking about, is
Yeah. Well,
the plight.
Lewis just found out about a woman who was living in a tent with her 6 children in this cold. I know I'm in Pennsylvania, and today it's 15 degrees here. With the wind chill, it's 1 degree. I couldn't
Good grief.
imagine being outside in a tent with your
No,
children
absolutely
and,
not.
nobody to rely on.
Right. Yeah, there's no help other than the private organizations, and we the people donating and helping and going there physically to help. Yeah, and I've heard more than one story of people living in a tent situation, or even somebody donated a bunch of tiny houses, like little shed type things, and the government said, "Oh, you can't live in those because they don't pass inspection." So I mean, there's some evil stuff going on, and the people are suffering in Western North Carolina, Eastern Tennessee, and it's horrible. And there's still tens of thousands of people missing, and they're still only counting, less than 300 people died from that storm altogether. So this is it's horrible, and I don't know what we can do aside from something not pleasant to think about.
Yeah, it's definitely
Get
pushing people to their edges right now.
Oh, absolutely. And that's the thing, is when people get desperate, because there's a few my wife and I have been watching a few shows, tons of disclosure on on streaming stuff. Under the Dome is one of the shows we were watching. That when society starts to fall, we think we're going to be everything's going to be good, but when supply chains are cut off, when there's nothing, no new stuff going in, we got water problems, we got food problems, society devolves very, very, very rapidly, and this thing can still go south. I'm not saying it will.
Still not working on my side, so I'm out. Thanks, guys. We keep trying now.
Even pixelated, you look great, Lewis. Just saying. Everybody's saying you look like CGI. Did you shave your goatee? That I couldn't tell with the way that camera, that the video was so bad. Did you shave your goatee? I don't know. Is he baby faced all now? Who knows? I'll find out tomorrow. But yeah, that's the thing. We need to take care of our own, right? This is the time. Not to celebrate. We're beyond the celebration of, like I said, Trump winning is just step one. Now the real fight begins. And it's still up to us, we the people. We got to identify our tribe, finding the people in your community, get to know your neighbors, check in on people, random acts of kindness, all this, showing love, support, helping other people out regardless of their political ideologies, and that we all, come together right now. So that's what we need to do, because if we don't come together, this is what's mind blowing, and how divine that Unity tour was. It was a setup. It was a precursor to what we need to do right now. Still, we cut the Unity tour short to come help do some humanitarian stuff. But the message has never been more poignant than right now. We still need more unity, even within the conservative patriot movement. There's still too much division. Everybody's still a bunch of backbiting and fighting, and this person's whatever. Just get over it. There's far too many people. If something a podcaster says causes you to have grief or anxiety or worry in your life, then you probably shouldn't be listening to that person. Just saying. We should be, working to lift up as much as possible, but being realists at the same time. You can't be all pie in the sky, utopia, everything's puppy dogs and rainbows when everything's burning around you. But we've got to be as positive and happy as we can. That's what I'm doing.
But stay alert, like you said. Somebody commented the other day on our YouTube channel that said, waking up people is the perfect way to make people think everything's going to be okay. Relaxed people let their guard down. Then when no one expects it, bam.
Absolutely. And kudos to you, Lisa, on the show that you did with Lewis the other day. That was fantastic. Maybe people need to get some pyramid power running through their bodies. So that's good stuff.
Absolutely. The Russian government has been investing money in it for 34 years, so there has to be something to it, right?
Right. So I don't know if you do quick while we have the floor here. Is the question I have about the pyramid stuff? Is there something special we need to be doing with them, or just having them in our possession proximity? We
Well,
gain the benefits.
so like I said on the show, your intention is really the fuel of the pyramid. So if you're a negative person, if you're in a bad mood, it's also an amplifier of energy. It's going to amplify that bad mood. It's going to amplify that negativity. So, if you have a meditation pyramid in your house, be mindful of who you let sit in it,
Oh wow, yeah.
But
And
once you're in that mindset, once you're in that receptive, listening to the universe's messages, listening to the guidance that's offered to you, not pitying yourself and feeling sorry for yourself and blaming others for things, you're going to open yourself up to the powers of it. And it's just going to amplify all the good things to start coming to you.
Absolutely. And I'm living that right now.
Yeah.
There's a reason the universe put me on this track of me, running my lips about mindset and doing all this research and sharing what the stuff that's going on in my life and how it's positively impacted me, our mindset, controlling our thoughts, emotions, actions, and results. And if it doesn't matter which area of your life, if you're not happy with the results, then you're going to have to do some different actions, because that's a definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. Right. So if we're going to continue to go down the path, let's just pick the whole Trump thing right now. Did Trump trick us? Well, what are we doing? Right. How are we, what meaning or what actions are we doing different than we did before? What actions is he going to be doing that is different before? Otherwise, we're going to get the same shit we had before. Are going to be in the, back in the same. We got to change our actions, which, you got to back up and change your thoughts and control your emotions. Everything works together for good to those who love God and are called according to his purpose, is what the good book says. And all that's fantastic information, but we need to really, it's a battle minute by minute to stay on the positive side, to work. Yeah. Cause hey, if shit's going south, fantastic. That's what we got. Great. What's good about this? That's the question. When everything's going south around you, you got fired from your job, your relationship isn't good, your health ain't great. Fantastic. Okay, what's good about this? Right? Yeah. What can we learn? How can we be better the next time around? Because that's what we're in this cyclical thing. If we don't learn this time, we're going to have to go through it again before we can learn our lesson, and we can be better and be able to help other people, because that's what I can help other people get through, because the things that I've been through health-wise, right?
Absolutely. That's one thing I always tell people too, is a doctor should never be allowed to tell you when you're going to die. They should not be allowed to give you a death sentence, because that flicks one of two switches in your mind. You're either going to instantly give up and you're going to die, or you're going to say, they're not going to tell me when I'm going to die. And you're going to show them that you have control of your life and you have control of your health.
Absolutely, you do.
But it's with all the negativity around us. It's the same thing. If you 100%. Get sucked into that negativity, that's all you're going to see in the world. That's all you're going to feel in the world.
That's exactly right. And that's why I'm battling my cardiologist. He might end up firing me as a patient. I don't know. Because I'm not buying what they're selling anymore. I want to know, okay, if I have this, why did I have this situation happen? It's because you're not taking the medicine that I told you to take. Well, I haven't had another situation like that for 3 years ago. Was the last time I had my pacemaker went off. So the last 3 years I haven't been taking my meds. So how come it took 3 years for that thing to happen again? So what's the reason? What's the root? They don't want to look at that. Absolutely. If you're depressed, here's an antidepressant. If you're overweight, if you're having some libido issues, here's some Viagra. Why are you having the libido issues? Why are you depressed? Yeah. They don't look at the roots.
That's creating the zombie apocalypse. Everybody's medicated. Nobody's their self. Nobody's their true receptive pure human form anymore. They're all drugged up and zombie-like walking around this earth. So they're not going to be
Absolutely.
receptive of the messages, you know? It's just, it dulls their senses. It dulls their feelings, you know? And our feelings are some of the most powerful things in the world.
Absolutely they are. And they're they can do things. I mean, I just noticed in the chat, we got Dylan Lewis Monroe in the chat, the New Templars. What's going on, Lewis? Or Dylan Lewis? And then L Paint or I Paint says, yeah, the carnivore diet. Funny you mentioned that, because that's been coming up more and more in my conscious, the carnivore diet, over and over again. So I am going to be looking into that, because I love me some meat. Okay, I think I can do that pretty good.
Absolutely.
So I don't want to, I've been rolling on. We had a bunch of, technical issues here. It's a shame. I'm sure Lewis is steaming where he's at, because he doesn't like it when things don't go right, and when things can't be fixed. So it's this, situations beyond our control, and so all we got to do is go with the flow. Okay, we had a crappy internet connection. Fantastic. What can we learn from this situation? Maybe get a Starlink.
Maybe. Yeah, Bruce and I have a Starlink, so we're on here. We're fine.
Well, yeah, give you a quick little. The place is a mess, but yeah, this is the new RV that we're living in a box, 30-foot box.
Very nice.
We got. This is my setup. What I normally my 2-screen setup for my computer. And there we are. Got me on the TV in the back. Woohoo! So yeah, we're having a good time. We're going to be down meeting with Lewis tomorrow, and a couple other fantastic patriots in this area. And Lisa, I think that's about it for today.
That's a wrap. Sounds good to me. But I'm sure the guys will be on to talk about the real topic that the gremlins didn't want you to hear about today. Did Trump
Absolutely.
trick us?
Mm-hmm. Start looking. Looking for what is the reason why things are the way. What is the meaning? If I could leave you with one message, look at the reason why, or what your expectations are, that you give meaning to certain things. The meaning, the importance that we give certain events, actions, people, or whatever is going to have an effect on how we respond or react to those situations. So, look at why, ask why. So that's it.
Absolutely. Lots of love to everybody. Till next time.
Thank you. Have a great.
If tomorrow all the things were gone, I'd work for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife. I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, where the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. God bless the USA. Am I the only one willing to bleed, or take a bullet for being free? Screaming what the hell at my TV for telling me, yeah, you're telling me that I'm the only one willing to fight for my love of the red and white and the blue. Burning on the ground, another statue coming down in a town near you. Watching the threads of old glory come undone. Am I the only one?
One day, one day, one day, one day, I hope you see the truth. This puppet show stays on because of you fools. We've been dancing with the devil way too long. I know it's fun, but get ready to pay your dues. Oh God, come back home. This crazy world is filled with liars and abusers. We need you now before we're too far gone. I hope one day they finally see the truth. God, we need you now.
'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land.